All right, kind of similar to yesterday, just recapping the game. Thought our guys played hard, physical, played together. Obviously found a way there, at the end, just getting the stop and offense, going down and scoring touchdowns. Just a really good team win.
Kevin, go ahead and start us off.
Yeah, I know preparation is one of your core beliefs. Where did that stem from? I guess when did you come across that in your coaching career of like, yeah, this is going to be one of the main things I want to be about?
I think my first year in the league, I just saw certain guys. I saw certain coaches as a young coach. I saw players, the guys that had been around the league for a long time, coaches and players. I saw the preparation that they put in, and it wasn't a surprise for those guys. The success they had, how long they played, how long some of these coaches have been coaching. Their preparation was off the chart. And that was one of those things that I was like, man, this is a big part of this deal, as we know. So that was one of my beliefs. And then on top of that, the character piece, all of them are great dudes and they do everything right on and off the field. They're consistent in everything they do, and they were just relentless to be the best. And so those are just the, my beliefs that I believe in. Saw that as a young coach, and just kind of had that, in my core values on how I see, the game of football and how to go about it.
Jake.
Hey Shane, Samson had the knee yesterday. There's a report out there he could miss multiple weeks. Do you have any update on that?
No, I know he's just dealing with the knee injury right now. So we'll see how the week goes.
Okay.
James.
I'm sorry. Shane, when you look at what your defense was able to do in the second half, I guess how do you weigh the good versus the bad? Obviously, you win, they get the stop at the end, but three straight touchdowns to open that second half.
Yeah, I think that's part of football. I mean, we knew going into that game, they got an elite quarterback over there. They're going to make some plays. But I thought our defense did a great job with the takeaways. Nick getting an interception, Grove getting an interception, getting the fourth down stop there at the end, holding that team to 24 points. I thought was good by our defense. So I thought all around, all three phases, did a great job.
JJ.
To yesterday about that JT chip block. Did you have a chance to go back and watch it today?
I did. It was very impressive. It was very impressive. That's where it starts, the protection piece on that third down. And JT got the chip block, took out two guys. And then it allowed Daniel to step up in the pocket and, hit Alec for the deep one there. So it was a big time block by JT.
Different subject, but I don't think we had a chance to ask you about Amir's return yesterday. In that moment of the game where the Chargers are, trying to make a comeback to rip off that 81-yard return, what did that do for the team?
It was huge. I mean, anytime you can flip the field with special teams being involved, getting a return like that, to set up a score 2 plays later, that's a huge momentum swing, and I thought he did a great job. I thought the guys up front creating that crease for him was awesome. And I'll say, Amir's a guy, I remember when we signed him, I was in the training room. I walked in the training room, I don't know if it was Tuesday or Wednesday, the day after we signed him, and it was real early in the morning. And I walked in that training room to go get in the sauna, and he's in there doing ankle mobility at 6 a.m. And I had my phone on me and I had to look up. I'm like, gosh, I think he's in year 10 or year 11. Sure enough, he's in year 11, and it made all the sense in the world. I'm like, this guy's in year 11 for a reason. He puts in the work, he's prepared, he's got a routine. And so to see that come to fruition and him being on the practice squad and getting the opportunity, and he's done so many great things in this league, just phenomenal to see for him.
Steven.
Shane, Daniel is certainly not a young player, but it does seem like over the course of the season, as he has success, his confidence grows, and it takes confidence to make some of these tight throws that he's making. Have you seen that progress from day one to now?
Yeah, I think it's comfortability with the guys, being around the guys, being in the system. And I think the preparation builds confidence. And he's the guy, like I talked about earlier. It's just the preparation that he puts in day in and day out. He's making big time throws, getting us in and out of the right play. Um, we can all feel it. So, we take it one day at a time, and we got to keep doing it, each and every week.
How does the rest of the offense feed off of that too? I'm sure guys, when the quarterback's like locked in like that, does that do something for the rest of the guys?
Oh, there's no question. I think when the trigger man behind center touches the ball every single snap, and he's got to make a decision on every play he drops back, um, there's a ton of confidence in that because of the work he puts in. Like I said, he's always here. He's always working, questions, conversations, nonstop, all day, every day football. And so, yeah, it breeds a lot of confidence in our football team for sure, with the way he works and the way he's playing.
Thanks.
Bob, go ahead.
Shane, how do you explain Daniel's rebirth this season? What factors have gone into the way he's playing right now?
I just kind of hit on it a little bit, but I think he's played well his whole career, to be honest. That's me. When I watched the tape, when I went back and looked at it, I think he's been a great player this whole time. And to get him here and to see the success he's having with the guys that we got, it's not a surprise to me right now at all.
Nathan.
Shane, I know you said you didn't have an update on Samson's health despite the injury report. Do you have any sort of an update on Tyquan Lewis, who I know left in the first half of yesterday's games?
Yeah, I think he'll just be day to day this week. We'll see how the week goes.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We'll do a few more here, chat.
Shane, two things. You touched on earlier with Amir's big kickoff return, but it seemed like every time in the second half yesterday, they score and then you guys respond. They score, you guys respond. Is that just a confidence you have? I mean, if maybe you have a 3 and out after they score, things get a little bit tighter. I guess how is this offense built that it can respond like that?
Yeah, I think it's the guys. I really do. I think our guys put in a ton of work each and every week, and they got a lot of confidence in their abilities when they go out there to say, hey, when we get the ball, our job is to go score points. And I think when you're executing and everyone's on the same page and the communication's on point out there, getting us in out of the right plays, blocking in the run game, the fronts, you're getting different looks. A lot of communication goes on. And I think it's those guys. I think it's Jim Bob does a hell of a job with those guys all week, preparing them for different looks that could come up with the rest of the coaching staff. It's been good. But like I said, we got to do it, each and every week, and we got a hell of a challenge coming up again this week.
One quick follow-up. With the way that Lou's having to kind of patch that secondary together and the defense is having some issues, as an offense, do you feel like, boy, now we have to do more, or do you just do your business and expect to score 30-some points?
Well, I think every week's different. I think our job as coaches and players is to go out and execute at a high level at all times. And we know that, in this game, how hard it is to go out and execute and win every week. There's going to be games that are up and down. And that's part of the business. And I think, our guys, like I said, it's just a belief that no matter what happens in the game, we just got to try and find a way to win it no matter what. So I kind of think that, chap.
Thank you.
Kevin.
Yeah, I know you guys put Mooney on IR. I assume you expect him back at some point this season?
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah.
James, go ahead.
Shane, we're looking at like injuries to Mooney and Sampson and a few others. I guess as a coach, I know it's not your decision to make moves at the trade deadline, but how closely do you follow that and the possibility to add players or just try to get your team as ready as possible for that second half of the season where you can't make those types of changes?
Yeah, I think Chris handles all that stuff. I think Chris does a phenomenal job, along with his staff. I think they're always looking into, different things that could come up before the trade deadline. So yeah, I leave that stuff to him, and I think he's done a hell of a job with all that stuff.
And then one last, I was watching a CBS interview after the game, and Daniel, as you know, hardly says anything that I don't know has a little personality to it. He's very monotone, but he said when he was asked why teams should believe in you or whatever, and or what should people know about your team, that they didn't know, and he said, well, it sounds like y'all didn't know much. So have you seen that edge from him? I mean, we don't see it as much, but I imagine as a quarterback competitor, you might see it a little bit more than we do.
Yeah, I think it's just like I said, it's a confidence and belief in everyone in that locker room doing their job at a high level and going out and earning it and proving it, week in and week out every time we step on that field.
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for joining us. If anyone has any questions for Tanor, go ahead and drop your name in the chat. Go ahead, Stephen.
Hey, Bart, how's it going?
Good. Yourself?
Good, good. We were just talking to Shane about like how Daniel's confidence, I mean, I think it was always high, but I mean, he's making some throws right now where I'm like, all right, you got to be pretty locked in to even attempt to make these throws. What can you see it? Can you feel it? His confidence?
Absolutely. I think it's something that bleeds into the entire offense. When your quarterback's playing with a confidence level that high, I think everyone in the offense feels it. And I think as an offense, that gives us more confidence as a whole to go out there and know that no matter what they do, if we go out there, do our jobs, we go out there and execute, we're going to score every drive.
And then along the same lines, I think it was like Mo Alley was saying yesterday, he's like, I know I shouldn't say this, but like we feel like we're going to score 40 every time we touch the field. Like, this is crazy. I mean, like at some point, do you have to like ask yourself, like, what is happening? I mean, this is not normal.
I mean, I think the cool part is that, like, I think it's just kind of the standard we hold ourselves to as an offense is that if we do our jobs to the best of our ability, we're more than capable of doing this every game, week in, week out. And I think the cool part is really seeing all that work you've done in the off season, throughout fall camp, throughout the season, kind of coming together. And every week the offense looks better and better. I think, we're kind of getting that synergy where guys are playing together more. Things are clicking a little better. And it's been a lot of fun to be a part of.
JJ, go ahead.
Hey, Tanor, JT's first touchdown of the game, you kind of climbed to the second level. You got the DB, but can you put into words how difficult a block Q had on that play with kind of the shaded nose there?
Yeah, Q's got the backside cut off on that one. It's never an easy job. He's out leveraged to start. So he has to basically get his helmet in front of the guy and cut him out of his gap. That's the D tackle's responsibility, is that gap. And he's one-on-one on that. He's got no help. So Q did a great job throwing his hat, hitting his target, getting good to push up the field, good vertical pressure. And what that does is that me and Matt are able to stretch a play side, get some good stretch there. But Q's really able to cut it up or open up that backside hole where JT can just sprint through full speed ahead, and really break that one.
On then on the deep ball to Alec, where JT chips Mac and kind of knocks him to the ground, it looked like you, Gonzalez, and Braden were kind of just like standing around. Those two guys who are on the ground. What was your view of that play, and how impressive a block was that JT had there?
It was awesome. They're kind of stunning. They're stemming guys around. So we're kind of trying to exchange the pressures, exchange guys we're blocking. So I'm kind of swiveling, look head on a swivel. I see my guy come across, and I think JT smokes Khalil, and they run into each other, hit the ground. It makes my job a lot easier, when there's two guys laying on top of each other. So shout out to them for that. But no, it's a pretty great feeling. And then they'll look up, and AP's down there somewhere every time they throw it up. So pretty great to see him haul that in and hit a big one.
James.
Board. I talked about this probably separately. The obsession that Shane has, the obsession that Daniel has. How have you seen those two things marry together? Because I feel like they're kind of like kindred spirit almost.
No, I think that what they do such a good job is making sure that throughout the week they're on the same page on what they want to be looking for on certain calls within the game. What calls are we going to get to versus what looks, and I think Daniel's really wired into that, and Shane does a great job at getting him to that point where come game time, every play, I think Daniel knows what his reads are, who he wants to go to, what we're trying to expose on that play. and just really kind of a mastery level of the offense. And I think it's really a 1-2 punch with those guys.
And then how often does those like conversations go up until like the last possible second? Because I think Shane's been there a couple times. It's like Saturday night, he might see something and be like, "Hey, let's make sure that we go over this just one more time." So I get, what's it been like for you as a center?
I think you see it, especially, I sit behind those two on the plane, and just the whole way there, if I walk past them, Daniel's looking at his notes and Shane's giving him little pointers on things he's going over through his game plan. Like, hey, just on this one, just a heads up, here's what we're looking for. Or, I think we can get to this call versus these looks. And I think this will be a good play in the second half. And just seeing how much thought goes into it, how much preparation those guys do to allow this offense to do the things we've been doing. It's really huge. And I think it just motivates all of us to do our jobs to the best of our ability.
Jake.
Tanor, whenever you ask a running back about themselves, good manners kind of indicate that they deflect to you guys and the coaching and everything, which Jonathan does. He kind of refuses to absorb anything about himself. But for you, kind of putting that back, what's it like for you guys up front, the offensive lineman, arguably the most difficult jobs, to have a guy like that rewarding you each and every rep with, I mean, leading the NFL in rushing right now?
I mean, he's a special player, man, and to have a guy back there like that behind you. I was always told at Wisconsin how good JT was, and I never got the chance to play with him until I got here, and he really is that good. I mean, he can make any game change on any given play. You know that if you do your job as an O-line, as a blocking unit, that if we can get JT to the second level, he can make any run pop, make it, go from a 10-yard gain to a 60-yard touchdown. And that's just the kind of player he is. That's the kind of explosiveness he brings to our offense, and having a guy back there like that, it's a really special feeling. And as an offensive line, gives you a lot of confidence knowing that any one play can be the one that really sparks this offense.
Just a couple more, Kent.
Tony Sperano always talks about you five guys playing as one. What's the key to being able to do that at the level it seems you guys are? It seems like you guys really do kind of block as one. Everybody's got their assignment and they carry it out. How do you get five guys together on the same page like that?
I think it's really having a great understanding as a group as a whole of what the game plan is, what we're trying to do on every play. And Tony does a great job of making sure we know, what is the goal of this play? What are we trying to accomplish by doing this? Making sure that we have an understanding of what we're trying to do, not just going out there and doing it. And I think that's really important for us as a group. And then I think it's a lot of the stuff we do off the field. I think, every Thursday we're getting O-line dinner as a group. And I think kind of that bond that you form, getting to hang out with all those guys, not only on the field, but off the field as well, just makes it easier to go out there, trust that what the guy to your right and left's going to do, that they're going to do their job. They're going to do everything they can to help you, to make you look good, and to make our offense succeed.
And last question, Chap.
I'm sorry. Two things. You talked about confidence. Is that like what going for fourth down 3 times on a drive? Is that sort of what that is?
I think so. And I think it's one of those things where, like, looking back at it, I didn't really even notice we went for it 3 times on fourth down. Just one of those things where, like, when we're going for it, we just feel like we're going to get it. There's no doubt in our mind that, what if we don't get it? There's really not that what if mentality. It's like, we're going to go out there, we're going to go out, run the play well, get the first down, and, keep marching down the field. And I think it's really awesome that Shane has that confidence in our offense that, sometimes coaches would lean towards punting in those situations, but he always feels like we're more than capable of doing it. Why not do it?
Also on JT, I mean, it's your job to give him that crease or whatever. You don't really get to see the run as it's happening. I mean, all you see is like a 28 run down the field, right? Do you appreciate it more in video review?
Absolutely. And I think you kind of see all the pieces and all the guys that it takes to make those go. There's a lot of things that I think happen on the first level that allow that to get up. But every time I look up on the field, or when we're on the field and I see the 2-8 sprinting downfield, it's a surreal feeling. It's always great, good as the first time. And just chasing him down, go celebrate after. But he really is a tremendous player.